A 13th century Persian mystic poet Rumi said, "I looked in temples, churches, and mosques, but I found the divine within my heart." I, the finite mind, have searched so far and for so long in objects, substances, activities, expanded states of mind, and intimate relationships for peace and fulfillment. Although the acquisition of those have brought my search temporarily to an end and gives some results, the fulfillment was not everlasting. But when I stopped seeking for those objective experiences, and when I turned back to the source to which I have risen, and allowed myself to sink deeper and deeper into the heart of awareness, I started to taste the lasting peace and fulfillment that I have longed all my life. I have searched for God everywhere, but when I gave up and turned back, I found Him present inside me. This giving up and turning back or turning around of the mind is what is referred to as self-inquiry or self-investigation or self-abidance. It is also known as self-resting and self-surrendering. It is surrendering the mind to God's infinite power. If infinite consciousness is likened to an ocean, mind would be the waves that rise upon and the currents that appear within the ocean. At the depth of the ocean, there is complete stillness. The further one rises to the surface of the ocean, the more movement there is. So our thoughts are the waves that take place on the surface of the ocean. Our feelings are the currents that take place within the ocean. But all there is to mind, that is all there is to thoughts and feelings, is the activity of the ocean. Just as the waves and the currents are simply the ocean in motion, so mind is simply the motion or the activity of consciousness. So So all the mind has to do to find the peace that it longs for is to sink into the depth of the ocean. It is always still in the depth of the ocean. So all the mind that longs for peace and fulfillment needs to do is to sink into the depth of awareness. As Rumi said, slow down and down in always widening rings of being. The wave flows down and down on the depth of the ocean. It widens or loses its limitation, loses its activity, and at some point is revealed as perfectly silent, still awareness. Having no activity or no motion, it has no form, and having no form, it has no limit. At the very depth of the mind, the very substance out of which the mind is made, is this silent, unlimited, or infinite awareness. All the currents that take place in the ocean and all the waves that take place on the ocean are simply this silent, infinite awareness vibrating within itself, appearing as our thoughts and feelings. If we make a deep and honest investigation into what our thoughts and feelings really want, we will almost always discover that what they're seeking is simply peace and fulfillment. The wave cannot find peace and fulfillment in another wave. The only place to find lasting peace and fulfillment is to sink into the depth of itself, and in doing so, progressively lose its agitation. The feelings of boredom, resistance, restlessness, loneliness, longing are simply currents in the ocean saying, I don't like the water that is present here. If I go to a different part of the ocean, the water might be better over there. Or, if I go to a different room in the house, I could find a better place. Or, if I move to another state of consciousness, I would be in a better state. This is what Rumi meant when he said, when I run after what I think I want, my days are a furnace of stress and anxiety. If I sit in my own place of passions, what I need flows to me, and without pain. From this, I understand that what I want also wants me, is looking for me, and attracting me. There is a great secret here for anyone who can grasp it. When the current gives up and turns back or sinks down into the depth of the ocean, of which it is itself simply a modulation, right there it finds the peace for which it was in search.